Hello and welcome to Ophifus Nails. Please like, subscribe and comment. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. So today we're going to be doing some Gel-X using some soft gel tips. And I'm going to be doing a design that's like with some koi fish charms, some little lily pads with some flowers, and hopefully it turns out alright. I'm not the best yet, so it might not be the best, but you know, we're gonna try. So I'm just gonna size up the nails first. I'm just gonna be doing on my left hand, since that's the hand I have my nails free. Just sizing up the tips now, making sure that they all fit from sidewall to sidewall. I quite like these tips, they fit perfectly without too much filing or anything. And yeah, they're quite nice. They are flatter tips, they don't have an apex, which I would have preferred if they did, but considering how cheap they were, I really can't complain. I've also already filed down the hard gel layer that I have protecting my natural nail. If you're doing this on your natural nails, you just want to buff your natural nails just to make them a little bit more rough, just to make sure the gel will adhere easier. And since I had a top coat on, I just wanted to make sure that it was all roughed up already. Now we're going to prep the nails by adding a dehydrator. I'm just adding this on as I have touched the surface of my nails. I will have some oils on them, and this just gets rid of all the oils on the surface of your nails. If you're doing this on your natural nails, you definitely don't want to miss this step, as it does help with retention a significant amount. And you do want the nails to last, you don't want them to pop off or come off really easily. So I'm just painting that on now. And then after that, you're going to use a primer of your choice. This just makes your nail stay on longer, as it provides a sticky surface for your gel base coat, which will then be applied after the primer. You don't need to be too precise when you're applying the dehydrator, as all it's doing is removing excess oils. I do also want to point out that you can use isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol or IPA, which are all the same type of alcohol, to dehydrate your natural nails, or even the gel layer if you're protecting your nails like how I am. Now that I've applied the dehydrator and the primer, I'm just going to go in with a base coat. You do want to make sure you wait about 20 seconds after the primer to apply the base coat, just to make sure that it's dry and it's functioning properly. So yeah, and then after you've applied the base coat, you want to make sure you've cured that for about 60 seconds. I do start back at university on the 23rd of this month, so when it gets to around that date, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be releasing videos every 8 to 9 days like what I'm currently doing. I'm just getting my lamp there for application. My flash curing lamp for application, sorry. I study biomedical science, so if you're interested in that topic, you don't know whether you want to take it, or you just want to know a bit more about it, I'm happy to do another separate video on it. Just let me know and I'll try my best to do that. So this is the glue that I'm going to be using to stick on the tips. It's the same glue that I used last time. I'm just opening that now, and then I'll be taking my thumbnail, and then I'll be squeezing some onto the end, and then using the top of the tip to push the glue from one side to the other side to make sure that it's fully covered. I'm not filing the inside of the tips as they are already pre-etched. That's why they're a bit cloudier there, so I don't need to do that step, which is a great time saver. Some of them I'd use as other tips, I'd have to use my e-file to file the inside to make sure that it's all roughed up so that the gel will stick and it's got higher retention. Then I'm going to apply the nails, going from around midway, pushing back, and then pushing down, and then I'll be flash curing it for about 60 seconds. Well, I think I flash cure for more about 30 seconds and then I remove any excess because I don't want it to be really hard when I remove the excess. I want it to still be a bit softer. It's important to remove any excess glue. For the aesthetic appeal, you want it to look nice and clean, as well as the fact that you don't really want gel to touch your skin, as it means it can cause allergies. So if you do have any gels touching your skin, it's good to try and remove it as quickly as possible. Obviously you can't always avoid that, but sometimes, like, if you can avoid it, it's best to. I'm just quickly gonna finish off the rest of my nails and then I'll be back. And by magic, I'm back with all my nails on, with all the tips on my nails. I'm just filing down the tips a little bit just to make sure there's no indents, as some of them have a little bit of indents from the processing. And I just want to make sure that the shape is rounded and smooth at the top. Now I'm just taking my primer to chemically etch the surface of the tips just to make sure that they're roughed up a bit, again, so the gel will stick to them. If you don't want to do this using a primer, you can also use this using a hand file, which is what I've done for one of my nails, or you can use this using an e-file. I would recommend going over a few times with the primer just to make sure that the nails are roughed up enough and the gel will stick very nicely. I've gone in with a base coat on all the nails and cured it, and I've gone in with 2 coats of Milky White on my thumb and middle finger. Now I'm going in with some blue on the tip of my thumb, focusing all the colour and pigment on the end. This is more of like a syrupy kind of gel where it's a bit transparent, it's not 100% opaque. I'm then going in with my ombre brush and I'm pulling the colour up, as you can see, and I'm just going to keep pulling that up until I get the desired look of like more of an ombre kind of vibe going on. But you can still see quite a harsh line, so I actually dip the ombre brush in some of the blue just so that there's more colour to bring up so there's no harsh line, which did help significantly. And now it looks more like an ombre, but it's not a perfect ombre, so I need to figure out how to do a better ombre at some point. I actually do this step on all of my fingers. Now I'm moving on to my pointy finger, and then my middle, my ring and my pinky. I should have put down the base colour first on the other 3 nails, but I forgot to. So I started doing the ombre without it, and then I put the base colour on top, and it did dilute the colour a bit, so it looks a little bit more like purpley in a sense, rather than the vibrant blue, or like a darker blue, more so I guess, that like a purpley darker blue, toned blue, rather than the vibrant blue that it is originally. But yeah, so I'm going to speed through this quickly and I'll be back once I'm done. I now go in with another coat of the Milky White throughout the whole of my nail. I was debating just doing the top and then bringing it down with an ombre brush, but I didn't see that working as it's very streaky already, so I just went in with a whole coat instead on both my thumb and middle finger. Now I'm going in with the peachy nude colour, which is a syrup one as well, on the other 3 nails, so my pointy, ring and pinky. I should have done this first, but I didn't. I ended up doing it on top instead, but I wanted to see if that would make the ombre look a little bit better as well, since I'm experimenting, and it didn't work as planned either. I think it's because it's more of a syrup gels rather than opaque gels. I feel like maybe if it was opaque it would have worked a bit better, but I'm not entirely sure. I just need to practice doing some ombres and looking at some YouTube videos myself. So I end up going in with 2 coats of this pink and curing in between. Now I've gotten out some charms that I'm going to be using. They're koi fish, and I've gotten out the rhinestone glue because I'm going to be using this to stick the koi fish onto my nails on my thumb and middle finger. So I'm just squeezing a line out where I would like the fish to go in a slight curved position as the fish that I have are curved. Now I'm just picking one up, and placing it onto my nail where I am happy with it to be. I'm just moving it a bit to make sure I'm happy on the placement, and then curing. Now that both the charms are stuck onto my nails, as you can see here, I'm using the rhinestone glue to fill any gaps, as there are significant gaps at the tails and the fins, and I don't want them to hook onto any of my clothing or hair, so I'm just going to fill any big gaps with the rhinestone glue gel and then cure when I am happy. Now I'm going to be moving on to the nail art for the other 3 nails, which is going to be the lily pads and the flowers. So I'm just grabbing the colours here and putting them onto my palette. So there are 4 colours that I'm going to be using today. There's a bright green, turquoise, pink and white. So let's get started with the nail art then. So I'm going in with the bright green and creating a circle with a piece taken out like a pizza without a slice to create the lily pad, and then I'm colouring it in. To do this I create an arc shape, then I make an X to create the points, and then I'm going to colour it in, as you can see here. And I do this a few times on each one of my nails. So I do it twice on my pointed finger, twice on my ring finger, and once on my pinky finger since it's a bit smaller. After I've coloured in the second one, I'll be doing the exact same thing on the other 2 nails. Now the next step I'm going to do is some shading. So I've mixed the turquoise with the green so I can shade the lily pads. So I go around the outside as a curvature to produce a bit of a shadow from the lily pad, and then I do lines inside of it to mimic the veins in them, and that's it. I'm just going to clean off my brush here by wiping it through a lint-free pad just to get the green paint off, and then I'm going to start the flowers, which I'm going to be using white as the base. So I'm going to dip my brush into the white, and then I'm going to draw an oval, draw like a U shape, and then draw a little flower, swiping upwards and from the sides, then filling in the middle, just like so. Now that I've finished this, I'm going to go in with some pink at the middle of the flower and slowly work my way up so that the tips are still white but then the base is pink. Now that I've just finished the flower, I'm going to go in with a top coat and top coat all of the nails, including the fish, just to make sure that they are shiny and they don't lose any of their colour. And yeah, that's the end of the video, so thank you for watching.